If you've been in a previous relationship with a girl and after breaking up, you noticed that she wasn't really affected by the separation and continued her life as usual, then let me tell you, this will never happen to you again after watching this video. I don't know where the idea came from, that a man who sleeps with many women is the smart one, the one who lives a happy life. No, true intelligence and strength lie in making a woman give you everything she has in her life, making her see life through you, making her dream about you when she sleeps, think about you when she wakes up in the morning, and before she goes to bed, she imagines different scenarios with you. You need to make her suffer when you're not around. How do you do that? Let me first ask you a question. Why is it that a girl can be in a relationship with one guy and when they break up, she doesn't seem too affected, but with another guy, if he even considers leaving, she nearly goes insane and reaches the point of threatening to take her own life? In general, what makes a girl obsessively attached to her partner? The answer, it's the amount of emotional investment she puts into the relationship. To make a girl invest as much of her emotions in you as possible, you need to enter the relationship with two weapons. 1. Be ready at any moment to leave her and walk away from her life. 2. Create a cocktail of mixed emotions throughout the relationship. I've talked about these two things a lot in my series, How to Attract Women, but in today's video, I'll go deeper and show you how to apply each one step by step. The first weapon, the readiness to walk away. To be ready to leave your girlfriend at any moment, you must have an independent life. Without a personal life of your own, you won't be able to do this, and you'll end up emotionally destroyed at the end of any relationship. Why? Because having no personal life means your days are dull. You go to work just to be present, spend time with friends you don't even like, then return home to spend the entire day on your phone. You might work out a little, but overall, your life is monotonous and boring. When a new girl enters your life, the time you spend with her becomes the most enjoyable part of your day. After meeting her, you go back to your dull routine, so you immediately reach out to her again to maintain that feeling of excitement. This makes you overly attached to her, turning you into a clingy guy, constantly texting and calling, maybe even forcing her to be the one to end the conversation. You start asking for frequent meetups, and when conflicts arise and you distance yourselves for a bit, you act like an addict craving reconciliation, even if she was the one who crossed the red line. But just because you feel you can't lose her, you give in and forgive her. At this stage, she feels she has secured you, and in her eyes, you become nothing more than a puppy who can't live without her. Her respect for you gradually decreases until she eventually leaves you, and when she does, you'll be left emotionally shattered. On the other hand, if you have a personal life, things will be different. First of all, you might already have multiple backup options. If one girl leaves, another takes her place immediately. More importantly, your life itself will be exciting. Hanging out with friends, sharing fun experiences, engaging in sports competitions, pulling pranks together, setting daily challenges, a full, fulfilling life. Your relationship with your girlfriend will then be just an addition to your already great life. If she leaves one day, you might feel a little sad, but you'll get over it quickly. In this state, you will be fully prepared to walk away whenever she crosses the boundaries you've set. She, in turn, will realize that if she does X, you won't tolerate it and will leave. This will make her avoid such behavior. At some point, she might accuse you of being heartless or willing to throw away what you have over a trivial matter. Your role here is to make it clear to her that you are with her for one reason only, to make your life better. But you will never accept disrespect or disobedience while still keeping her as your girlfriend. She is not the last girl in the world, and you are not the last man either. I won't go deeper into this topic now because the series already has plenty of videos covering this weapon in detail. So if you want to explore it further, go back and check them out. The second weapon, the emotion cocktail. Before I reveal my secret formula, let me start with an important introduction. Modern women claim they want a man who respects them, respects their ambitions and decisions, doesn't control them, is loyal, always available, and so on. Now, imagine a relationship like this. Let's call them Leo and Monica. Leo loves her deeply, always talks to her, is available whenever she wants, and will do anything she asks just to make her happy. He respects her privacy, never interferes in her decisions, and constantly supports her. Now tell me, what kind of emotions do you think Monica feels in her relationship with Leo? When they go out, she might enjoy the moment a little, but does she truly miss him? Does she ever feel any tension or insecurity? Does he give her the dose of drama she secretly craves? Has he left any significant impact on her life that makes her appreciate him? Would it make any real difference if she left him for another guy? The answer is no. So what should you do to avoid being like Leo? In reality, the first weapon is already enough. However, if you want to ensure that your girlfriend never experiences with another guy what she experiences with you, then your relationship must feel like a movie story. And this is where I reveal the emotion cocktail formula. But first, let me ask you a question. What is the most powerful tool in the world that uses emotions to attract people and make them deeply attached? The answer is the film industry. Movies are the most effective way to make people emotionally attached. Why do you think that is? Because they trigger emotions in the viewer through a well-defined psychological pattern, a pattern that science has proven over time to be highly effective in stirring human emotions and making people stay emotionally invested. This is the same pattern used in novels, in TV series, and even in marketing strategies by the biggest companies in the world. And today, I'll show you how to use this method with a girl to make her feel like she's living a movie with you. If you watch a lot of movies or read many novels, you'll notice that this structure repeats itself every time. At first, there is a normal state where life seems stable. Then a problem arises, and once that happens, the story begins to escalate. After a certain period, the problem gets resolved, and when that happens, life returns to normal. By the time the movie ends, you realize that you've gone through a roller coaster of mixed emotions. This pattern is the most powerful existing formula for triggering human emotions, and when you apply it to a girl, you become the center of her world. Now, let me show you the exact recipe for the emotion cocktail. A relationship should consist of periods of stability where both partners feel love and a pleasant routine, going on outings, having conversations, evening calls, making the girl feel safe and secure. Then, suddenly, a quake occurs, shaking up her world, followed immediately by a magical reconciliation. For example, Paul and Luna's story. Both are 22 years old and have been in a relationship for 2 months. What attracted Luna the most to Paul was his spontaneity and honesty with her. One night they were out together, and at the end of the evening, they sat in a quiet place, talking and laughing. Paul started telling Luna some unbelievable stories because they were completely made up. Luna said, "You're twisting things, don't lie to me," but he insisted that they were real. She responded, "Paul, if you're lying, just tell me now and I'll forgive you and understand, but it seems like you're determined to make me believe they actually happened." They ended the evening without her believing him, but she pretended to go along with it just to finish the night, and he was aware of that. 24 hours later, Luna was sitting in a cafe with her friend, studying for an exam the next day. Suddenly, Paul called her and said, "Listen, I need to tell you something I can't keep hidden from you about last night's stories. You were right, I was lying." At this moment, Luna lost it and said, "I told you I would understand if you had just been honest with me last night. How could you lie while looking me in the eye? And how could you laugh about it?" She then ended the call saying, "I'm studying now, I don't have time for this." And she returned to her friend talking about the situation, unable to focus on studying due to her anger and frustration. The day ended and she went to sleep. She woke up for university and went to the lecture hall looking for her seat among the crowd. She sat down only to suddenly find Paul standing in front of her. It seemed he had followed her and his face showed no emotion. He looked like a statue. He extended his hand with a small closed box. She took it and he turned around and walked away. She opened it and found the earrings she had previously told him she wanted, along with a note apologizing and explaining his actions, promising never to lie again. Luna felt as if the fire inside her had been extinguished with water. After finishing her exam, they met, reconciled, and spent the most wonderful day together. Let's analyze the story. At first, there was a stable period where Luna loved Paul's honesty and openness. Then suddenly, a quake happened. She discovered he lied, felt betrayed, and lost her sense of security. Afterward came the magical reconciliation, his cinematic style apology. Not only did this resolve the situation, but now she trusts and believes him even more than before. This is what quake followed by magical reconciliation means. Another example to reinforce the concept. You and your girlfriend are in a stable phase, then a conflict occurs and you separate. During this time, you meet another girl and go out with her 2 or 3 times. When you reconcile with your girlfriend, you admit that you met someone else during the breakup. Her stomach will turn from anxiety and insecurity. The reconciliation here should show her how insanely in love you are with her. For example, you could go to an artist and ask him to draw her name on your forearm in an artistic way, then send her the picture. When you meet her, let her touch her name on your skin. And of course, block the girl you went out with and let your girlfriend discover that on her own. The stronger the quake, the more powerful the magical reconciliation needs to be. Question: are you always the one to reconcile after a quake? At the beginning of the relationship, yes, especially if you were the one who orchestrated the quake. But once she becomes deeply attached to you, you can start creating the quake and leaving her to reconcile with you instead. For example, if she starts ignoring your messages and calls, go to the place where she's sitting with her friends and pick a fight with her in front of everyone. Raise your voice. Don't be afraid of anything. Then leave as if the relationship is over. After a while, when she realizes that you're not the one making the first move both to reconcile, she will come back to make amends herself. At this point, the ball is in your court. Take your time responding and set the conditions you want. When you apply everything mentioned in this video, it will be impossible for any girl to ever think about leaving you or going to someone else. And if you've made it this far in the video, I just want to say I love you. And please, if you have any questions or issues, let me know in the comments so I can decide what to talk about in the next videos. This was The Dark Needle. See you in the next video.